Hello and welcome to A Very Explosion Network Christmas, our podcast dedicated to the merest of holidays. The festive season with films about Santa, snow, or being left home alone. Time of year when we all come together to put a bunch of lights on our houses for some reason. I'm your host, Ash Shelby, and helping me grow my heart 3 sizes of Christmas cheer is Dylan White.
How many people around you do Christmas lights, do you reckon?
Not many.
Yeah, I don't have many either, to be honest. So, I think there's probably, if I picture like my
Seems like a rich person thing.
radius, well, yeah, definitely more American. But if I picture my like general radius, like say 5 minutes around my house, I think I can picture 3 or 4 houses that I know do it every year. Full stop. But they always stand out more, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because once December hits, it's like driving home. You're like, there they are.
Yep.
They're the ones. Good for them, you know? Good for them.
Yeah, I remember we used to do it for a few years when I was a kid, but then we just got to a stage where the lights just get left on all year. They just got left out there.
Oh, really?
And then they didn't get turned on until Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a pain.
I was driving
such a pain to put them up, and it's such a pain to take them down.
Yeah. I was driving home the other night, and I saw some people had them on. I assume they were just like testing them.
But it's after Halloween. You can start doing Christmas lights.
Is that the rule?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think they need to get in early for like the competitive Christmas light scene, you know? Yeah, they publish. I don't know if it's a thing it doesn't matter. They publish lists of the best Christmas lights.
They do a list, and look, I've seen pictures. I've never gone, right? I'm not gonna there's many things I'll do by myself. I'm an independent woman, but going to Christmas lights by myself with all these families and kids, that's probably where I'm like
stalking somebody else's house by yourself.
Yeah, by myself.
As a 30-something grown man? Yeah.
That's probably where I'm going to draw the line, to be completely honest.
It is a little bit weird. All right. Today, we're talking about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So please be aware, we'll be discussing anything and everything about the plot themes and any of the movie. So if you haven't watched it, come back later. With that said, let's jump into National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la.
After vacationing across America and throughout Europe,
Take it, Russ.
this holiday season, the Griswolds are going to play it safe.
Clark, we're stuck under a truck.
Oops. They're staying at home.
I give you the Griswold family Christmas tree.
Hope you're not getting sap all over your sweater, Clark.
All Clark wants is a quiet, old-fashioned Christmas.
Sorry. Got a little knot here. Can work on that.
What he's going to get is the gift that keeps on living.
Merry Christmas.
His family.
First debuted December 1st, 1989. Directed by Jeremiah S. Chechik. Written by John Hughes. Based on characters by John Hughes. Starring Chevy Chase, Beverly D'Angelo, Randy Quaid, Miriam Flynn, William Hickey, Mae Questel, Diane Ladd, John Randolph, E.G. Marshall, Doris Roberts, Juliette Lewis, and Johnny Galecki. Clark Griswold is really into Christmas and promises to make it a good one until he turns everything completely around, causing a domino effect of disasters. Dylan, have you seen this film before?
I've seen this film so many times I cannot even count.
I surprisingly have never seen this movie.
Shockingly. To clarify, which of the, if any, of these vacation films have you seen?
I don't think I've seen any from start to finish.
It's insanity.
I feel like I've watched snippets of all of them out of order.
Insanity.
When it's just been on television, you know, but
yeah.
I just, these are old movies, Dylan. I'm not going to go look out for old movies. Or during my youth, I was not looking out for old movies, I'll be fair.
But this is definitely, I don't know. These films, all of the vacation films, were just on TV so often growing up. It's like they just spaced them, the 4 of them, out across the year for 10 years of my life. I felt every Christmas. And I wouldn't be surprised if this year sit down and flick through channels and see that this is on again. I swear Christmas Vacation's on every year. European Vacation used to be on every now and then. Vegas Vacation was probably the one that was on the least, to be completely honest. Original Vacation probably the second least. European and Christmas Vacation, though, on TV all the time growing up.
Oh, I was surprised this is actually the 4th of
No,
these?
third.
It's a third.
I think it goes Vacation, European Vacation, Christmas Vacation, and then Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas is because Rusty's a teenager adult and that, so even though the kids are played by completely different actors in every film. And in this one, I don't know if you recognize the actor at all, did you? The
Yeah.
kid?
I mean, it's John. No, I didn't recognize him
Mm.
until I've read the credits.
Yeah.
Putting the show notes together. I recognize Juliette Lewis. But
Juliette Lewis, obviously, yeah, but wasn't sure if you'd recognize him. Yeah.
I think it's funny because this is probably the pairing of kids that is most notable out of all of them.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess Anthony Michael Hall was in the first movie, so you know. But yeah, never saw the movie, so yeah. As someone who's watched the movie a fair bit, how do you feel about it?
I definitely feel like
okay. Yeah, just you.
I was gonna say, to me, it is such a like. I knew this falls into the category of I don't even feel like I could properly talk about this movie. This movie is just like, to me, there are jokes in it that are funny every time. I don't even think of it nearly as a movie. I know that sounds so weird, but there is a category of films, in particularly Christmas films, that because I saw them so much growing up, they sort of just, I feel like, embedded in me. You know, there are certain performances, there's certain jokes, there's certain little gags in these movies, these vacation movies, and some of the things that are just so part of, like, even I talk about how there's family references and stuff that like my dad and Pop and there's jokes from all these vacation films that people constantly just bring up my family. So I don't know, like I think it's hot. I definitely think it's still funny. I think some of the humor is obviously aged, whatever, you know, like this the whole the weird thing about the girl at the store that's not Maya but it's Maya. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. And also in retrospect, of course, you know, Chevy Chase's dick. You got Dennis Quaid or whatever.
Randy
Quaid, sorry. You got all these people in it that are going to become problematic. But yeah, it's dumb fun.
So would
Really.
you say it's a Christmas present, stocking stuff, or a lump of coal?
I'm still going present.
I'm going to go stocking stuffer. And I might even be pushing.
Holy moly.
Yeah, I didn't love it, you know, in any way. It definitely feels like... It definitely doesn't feel like the first in a series, you know? It definitely feels like some built-in history is in here. Some sort of, like, probably running jokes are included from other films. And obviously, you know, Uncle, what's his face? Oh, Randy Quaid shows up in one moment, and that's might have been, you know, there was like a modern day movie. It's like a fucking pop.
Well, I don't think it's a pop. It's just
it'd be like one of the Avengers showing up in one of the other movies.
No, it's definitely not.
Exactly what that is.
It's just if you know, it's
you gotta keep him secret, and he's gonna pop up.
It's a this motherfucker again moment is what it is, if anything.
But yeah, I mean, you know, I don't think there was anything in here that made me really laugh. You know, what's your favorite moment that then gets a chuckle out of you?
I don't know. There's so because I mean, I'll point down this like even the so we're going into like a little bit Dylan history.
Yeah.
I had seen. This may be unsurprising or not. I had seen the original Fast and Furious before I seen this movie.
Okay. Guess what? Same with me.
Shocked. And I always thought that it was so funny that I just make fun of the scene. I used to always make fun of the scene at the start because he goes under the truck and everything like that. So I still find that quite funny. I find the gag about walking I don't know. This is what I'm saying. All the gags to me are just silly and they're dumb, but I still find them funny because I've always found them funny. Just them wandering out to the middle of nowhere and then just like Chevy Chase like going to say something and then his like lips are frozen like, "Where's your the tweed man?" You know, like all that, like just the humor is so dumb out of it. The blowing up the tree because of and everything's just set up with these little bits for out of it, like the sewage with the gas and you know all the little bits as they go on. Juliette Louise Louise Dreyfus next door. All
That's
the back
crazy.
and forwards, all the funny backwards and forwards bits with that.
They were the true victims of this movie, you know.
They're meant
Having to
be
live next to them, their house getting constantly smashed up and ruined. You know, it ends with a bunch of police breaking into their house for no apparent reason.
SWAT team comes in. I think if I had to pick one, I don't know, if you're asking like what my favorite bit is though, I think it's just the lights bit where they keep like changing places and people are flicking things off and on, and it takes them like what seems like 10 minutes to finally all sync up because you know she goes and turns the light off and they come on and she flicks the light. No, someone goes and flicks them off in the garage and they come back out and then he thinks he's fixed it by timing, but putting these things in and yeah, just the whole, and then the fact that they're so bright that. You know, the next door neighbors are like freaking the fuck out and they can't see anything and they're blinded basically.
Yeah, they have to put the nuclear power on and
yeah, good stuff.
It's amusing, not funny.
There's a lot of your the humor you like the least in this as well, which is like the sort of embarrassing humor.
Awkward, and you know, Chevy Chase, he loves a pratfall.
He does.
There's a lot of those in here.
Yep.
So many unnecessary.
That's his thing. That plus doing.
If you're sitting in the attic, why would you sit right on top of where the stairs are?
Don't know.
That is the dumbest.
His number one thing, though, if you're like saying what's Chevy Chase's go-to thing, it's definitely his. He always has jokes about like looking at a watch that doesn't there. He always has some gag about, but there's no watch. Like, what are we going to call that?
I don't know,
but that's his like one of his.
Yep. I mean, it has a weirdly happy ending, even though we never actually get to Christmas Day. The movie ends on Christmas Eve, right?
Yep.
You know, so these kids never find out if, you know, Santa does show up and give them presents. You know, these kids who have been taught that, you know, Santa doesn't come to everybody. Which is kind of depressing. I don't know. Any other highlights for you? I enjoyed the cat being...
the cat being
that may have...
That was your favorite thing?
I knew it was coming.
I was just looking because I find it...
I'll say the effect of the turkey being cut and just deflating.
Yeah.
Very impressive. It must have been practical. I don't know how they did it. Like a balloon?
I was looking to see how much it did box office wise back in the day. Wikipedia says the film performed well at the box office, grossing $73.3 million against a $25 million budget, while receiving generally mixed reviews from critics. Is now regarded as a Christmas classic.
Is it only a Christmas classic because it's been played so much? Probably.
I don't know. Like, it's a thing. I think it is a thing of like, it came out and my parents liked it and they thought it was a funny Christmas movie. So of course they make me watch it. You know what I mean? So there's a bleed through,
it's a repetitive thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it was the highest grossing of the 4 original films. You know.
Well, I know the last one did the worst.
Vegas Vacation, I mean, 36 million.
Well, they no longer had John Hughes involved, so.
That might be the other weird thing, that it's John Hughes writing all this. Who, in my mind, is the teen rom-com guy.
Yep.
He's putting all these crazy, zany... Well, I guess when I think about it further, the guy who wrote Home Alone
Mm-hmm.
writing this movie does make sense.
Mm-hmm. And Home Alone comes out the year after this and was filming at the same time, I believe.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like,
yeah.
what if we made other people take pratfalls?
Yeah.
And someone made them take the pratfall.
Yeah.
It wasn't just awkward accidents. Yeah, I don't know.
I think that's where he came. I think his original comedy group was part of the like all the people who were
like
involved in
part of the National
Lampoon.
Lampoon thing.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to look.
Understandable.
His first writing credits were on National Lampoon's Class Reunion. Then he did Mr. Mom. Then he wrote National Lampoon's Vacation, Savage Islands, and then he finally writes 16 Candles in the Breakfast Club. So yeah.
Crazy.
Now we're into some like weird, like I know that John Hughes is known as he is known as and remembered as the teen rom-com sort of guy that sort of invented a genre nearly. But that's not what he started writing.
No, he started writing dumb comedies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They did a sequel to this, though, no? Like
yeah,
a direct sequel, straight to DVD sequel.
They did. Yeah, I saw they did National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2.
Yep. Doesn't have
Chevy Chase or Beverly, actually.
Yep. Hence why it's a straight to DVD.
It's like, yes. Do you know who we want a movie to revolve around? Fucking Randy Quaid, Miriam, Flynn.
Yep.
That's who everyone loves. It's fucking
shocked
Snops the dog.
You're shocked to learn that movie didn't do well.
No surprise. Absolute shocking. Yeah. It also ends with like the weirdly singing Star Spangled Banner. It just so weird.
Like you really want to give this movie a Christmas call.
I kind of do.
I feel like you're being too nice. Just give it a call and stick to your feelings. Stop trying to fence it.
This is a piece of coal. You know, there are better movies out there. We don't know why we're celebrating this mediocrity. Yeah.
That's better.
Just base level.
I think you're completely wrong and an idiot. But be true to yourself.
But just so many base level jokes. And he's so obsessed about his big bonus. And then like halfway through the movie, they introduce like this framing sequence with the advent calendar.
No, I'm pretty sure they were doing it from the start of the movie.
I don't think so.
I feel like you zoned out and started looking at your
phone. There's a very strong possibility that was the case, but I feel like it introduced like halfway through.
Now I just want to read the plot from Wikipedia Christmas Vacation 2 because it's dumb. I want to see how well it. Spoilers
for Vacation 2.
The story begins with Cousin Eddie at his latest workplace, a nuclear facility, where he works.
What? Oh, I guess Homer Simpson said it works at nucleus.
Yep. Where he lurks alongside a chimpanzee. When the chimpanzee outperforms him in every test, specifically mental agility, the decision is made to fire him.
Makes sense.
Upon finding out the news, the two get into an argument, which results in the chimpanzee biting him. With Christmas approaching, Eddie is worried about what the job loss will mean for him and his family, and he decides to talk to his former boss. Although the thought never occurs to him, the nuclear company is convinced that he will sue. As a preemptive countermeasure, they offer him and his family, along with Audrey Griswold and Uncle Nick. Also, Audrey Griswold in this is played by the same girl from Vacation 1, but now older. A free vacation to an island in the South Pacific. While on a holiday, they go on a boat ride while Eddie attempts to catch a shark. They get lost and eventually shipwreck on an isolated island. Eventually, Eddie is able to prove himself a man by providing for his family, and they all celebrate Christmas together on the island. Shortly after they rescued, although when the pilot becomes incapacitated, it is left to Eddie to land the rescue plane safely. Once landed, Eddie discovers he's been given his job back. The end. 83-minute movie.
I kind of feel like we need to watch this next year.
That's a Christmas Cole one, but yep.
It's like, what? And this was made in 2003.
Yeah.
14 years after the original.
Technically, it was the
running
last
on the
one.
back of Randy Quaid's huge success in Independence Day, 1996. Yeah. Listen, I understand it's a part of a lot of people's childhoods. But, you know, that doesn't make it good. Let us know what you thought of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation by going to explosionnetwork.com/Twitter or jump into Discord at explosionnetwork.com/Discord or find us on other social media at ExplosionPod. If you want to help us out here at a very Explosion Network Christmas, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or in Podchaser. Leave us 5 stars, any quid, leave 5 stars, or just tell people about the show. And if you've enjoyed this episode, thoughts worth $1, head on over to our Ko-fi page at explosionnetwork.com/supports. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time, remember, just check all your electricity switches.